I was thinking about this. I've been thinking about this for the last couple of weeks since we decided to set a date and actually sit down and do this. And I think this is probably the most difficult interview I've had leading up to. I think I'm at about 18 now.
I know.
Since we started.
I know. I should have been first.
You should have been first. But if you'd have been first, we wouldn't have been able to film it here. Which was something we wanted to get done.
About it, though.
But I've known you so long, worked with you for so long that I was finding it very difficult to actually come up with how it was that I was going to find something that people don't already know. Like you're such an open book already, and you're such a big part of the community already. Finding something or trying to think of something that people might not already know about you, I found that actually quite difficult. So, just in case anybody doesn't realize, you have lived here your entire life.
Born and raised.
You are one of 5 children?
4.
4?
4 and 1 that I don't have any contact with.
I see.
I do have an older brother.
Yeah. So 1 of 4, all grew up in Medicine Hat.
Yep.
You all went to the same school.
We did.
I picture where you fit into. When I think of a large group of siblings in all going to the same school, I think every sort of brother and sister fits a role in the school. You know, somebody picks on somebody. They're not picking on 1, they're picking on 4.
I can't say that we all went to the same school because I have my youngest sibling, has Down syndrome, right? So if you've lived in Medicine Hat a long time, you've probably recognized Clayton around the city, all right? He's usually out and about, always really personable. He'll be the first one to say hello to you if he recognizes you. But he ended up going to George P. Vanier and Herald School, so he wasn't included into mainstream just that yet back then, right? It was when George P. Vanier shut their doors, they started to do the inclusion process into all of the different schools and mainstreaming kids with disabilities. So, yeah. The other 2 of my siblings, lots of people would know Curtis. Curtis is one of the main guys down at Mr. Lube. He's right there. He's been there for, I think, 30 years. So, and then my younger sister, Corey, she's off in Edmonton right now. So, yeah, like if you know us, you would know all of us, right? Because we're pretty close all through growing up.
But I picture you as being sort of, nobody's going to mess with Curtis if they're going to have to cross paths with you.
No, not usually. And Curtis is the same way. We were all pretty protective with each other, and absolutely totally protective when it comes to Clayton. So. And
of course, coming out of a high school, you went into working with CORE. That wasn't straight away, or was that a little bit later on?
Lots of people ask how I got into going in the arts, and I hated school. And the only reason I ended up going into the visual communications program at the college is because I hated school so much in high school that I took all the dum-dum classes. So didn't need math to get my diploma. So you know what? I didn't take it. Didn't need science, so I didn't take it. Took all of the spares, took all of the art classes I could, and still graduated with honors, just with the modifieds, English, modified social, modified, not modified, but I took the 30s English and social, but math and science, I was done at 23, right? Grade 11. So if I wanted to go into rehab because of having the brother I did, I had to upgrade. So the lesser of two evils was going back to school to go into the art program. So did my 3 years, came out of the art program, and went to work into rehab for 10 years. And always did it on the side. I actually did my first set of windows in grade 12 for my would-be then boyfriend. His father owns the Redcliffe Bakery. So the Redcliffe Bakery were my first set of windows. And it just went from there. You know, ended up marrying that boyfriend. And we've been together 24 years this year. And just started doing it full time probably about 15 years ago. So, and that was just because I never got my contract back with working with specialized kids at Crescent Heights High School.
So that was the sort of the catapult into starting Paintergirl.
Absolutely.
Were you Paintergirl straight from the beginning?
Yeah.
Yeah? That was just that you came up with the name and that was it?
No,
that was it from there?
I didn't even come up with the name. I started painting nameless, really. It was just a hobby back then. And I had an elderly gentleman that kept calling me back year after year to do his windows. And he was the one that kept telling his staff, call that painter girl. Call her to come do the windows. And the name just stuck. So I went with it. Licensed it. Made sure to pay for that licensing and pay for the trademark for southeastern Alberta, because there were lots of people that wanted to use that name as well through the years.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Imitation.
Yeah.
Highest form of flattery and all that.
Highest form. It's awesome.
So, I mean, I have written here to sort of ask you if it was family that kept you in Medicine Hat, but I think it's probably everybody. I mean, you're probably at the, you know, by the time you start painting under the tag Paintergirl, you're so tied into the community. There's probably no option. Well, why would you leave?
Well, no, I love my city. I love Medicine Hat. It's a great place to, raise our kids. I didn't want to go anywhere with a bigger population. Calgary scares me. Edmonton's too far away, and I loved being next door to my in-laws for all of my married life, and 2 blocks away from my mother, and always really close to my dad when he lived up there. So,
yeah,
you know, it's just, I was there if anybody needed us, and yeah.
2 boys.
2
boys as well to bring up.
Yep.
It's a nice, position to be in, to have this
Absolutely.
network around you. Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Yeah, being the only girl in the house was challenging, but, it was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. You got a lot of testosterone in the Vince family.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was blessed to have 3 cut out of the same cloth. It's probably not an earshot.
Hovering around in the background, pretending you can't hear anything. Murals, commissions,
yep,
face painting,
yep,
windows. I'm going to get to paint nights.
Yep.
What am I missing? It's pretty much,
That's
I didn't think...
pretty much it.
Yeah.
If it has a surface, I paint
Not
on
that you could probably squeeze in much more.
No.
With all of that.
No. I get asked quite frequently, when do you sleep? Well, I do sleep, but it's usually forced. The brain never shuts off.
I bet.
No.
Yeah, I obviously you had a bit of a break from that this year with the Stampede and everything else. But I know that Stampede is a crazy time of year.
It is.
To be a window painter.
But with all of this stuff going on with this pandemic, even though I didn't have Stampede windows to do, everybody was in full reno mode. So I was kept busy, even more busier than I would have been with Stampede.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been good. It's been good. I tried to keep a lot of Medicine Hat busy with offering the free sessions right when we were first shut down. And just trying to get people to get out of their heads a little bit, because it's scary times. You want to try to do your part. I don't know if I'm going to do that within the next few weeks now that we're shut somewhat a little bit more again, but I don't know. I have no idea how it's going to go.
Yeah. So the paint nights, they seem to be one of the most popular things that you do.
One of them, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think has made that as popular as it is?
I
know my theory. My theory is you make it as popular as it is. But I'm just wondering is, from your side, looking out at everybody else, is there something you see?
When I was going through the program, VisCom program, and just, I know the teacher I didn't want to be. All right. I wanted to be the fun person, the one that makes everybody laugh, and just create a little bit of ease when people come in, because I have a lot of people come in and they're nervous. They're afraid they're going to do something wrong. And it's usually when I speak the first F-bomb that people start to calm down and start laughing.
They're like, oh, it's going to be one of those nights.
Yeah. I can rein it in. All right. I do lots of kids classes and we have loads of fun. Birthday parties, different social functions. I'm able to have parties in here. I had one last weekend. It was great. With the studio being right down from the mustard seed and across from the tracks, we get a lot of colorful people in the alley. So sometimes that gets a little sketchy, but you make do with it. But they're pretty good around here. They have come to understand that they call me the painter lady down here. So I've introduced myself to as many individuals down here that I can, and they usually carry on. And it is what it is. That's the society we live in. You're going to catch it anywhere in Medicine Hat, especially now. But it's a lot of fun down here. We're hoping that this whole area of the city will eventually be some sort of an arts district.
So yeah, that's looking at Medicine Hat right now. It seems like it has quite a strong art scene, especially with the all the murals that are going up around downtown, the galleries.
Yep.
It seems like we have, enough tattoo studios in Medicine Hat for each of us, which is no bad thing. Has it always been like that?
I don't think I think it's been out there, but I don't think it's been as public as it is now. Right? Because Jim Marshall's been here for, how old is Jim? Into his late 70s, early 80s, isn't he? And there's always been the cultural center, and before that, people drew at the college, and there's always been people in and around Medicine Hat, especially with the college opening up and with the art program there. But I think it's just people are starting to be acknowledged more, right, for their artwork, which is great. Like, what else makes you smile? You walking down the street and you come upon a big mural of flowers or graffiti. Some of the graffiti in the city is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Right? The pop-up parks downtown, hosting a lot of Carrie's work and Jeff's work and Wendy's work. Teresa, painting a lot of Medicine Hats. Like, we have a ton of wonderful artists in town. Maureen down at Inspire, she's amazing. But it's just, people are starting to be recognized for what they do as their craft. It's awesome.
It is. What do you have coming up? Oh, obviously, things are going to slow down for the next couple of weeks.
I spent the morning probably canceling my whole next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So I am offering to do online sessions. Again, making up those paint kits to do the online sessions. if you're not able to get out, you know what? Host an evening through Zoom. You know, you can have access to see what everybody's doing. It's just you're in the comfort of your own house. So that can happen. There's
Perfect.
ways around it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was really nice to talk to you officially.
Those are all the questions you have for me?
Do you want more? I can do more.
No. How about we talk about how amazing of an artist you are?
No. No. We're not going to lie.
Oh, it's not lying. We all know that that's how you used to help me around town, and you did some amazing work. You still do some amazing work.
I have some pictures of some of the work I did, and some of it was not amazing. You're being a very good teacher again.
I beg to differ.
Being supportive again.
You're the reason I own an airbrush.
Good.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for this little interview. I'm excited to be on your blog.
Mm-hmm.